Hello there everyone and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. I have taken the liberty of putting the Munar imager into orbit. It was completely uneventful, and so I decided, why even bother recording it? You guys have seen so many launches, and I mean this is almost identical. As I said, I removed 3 of the 9 batteries from this thing. The 20,000 electric charge should be plenty for the job based on our experiments in the previous episode. So it's time to send this thing to the moon. There's the moon. It's actually going to be an interesting little step backwards because we're just going to orbit the moon. We're not landing, which is interesting. We haven't actually done just a plain old... Oh, there we are. And there's our Munar encounter of a sort. I want to come in slightly behind the moon, I think. If I slow it down just a bit, well, that drops us into a nice, tidy little orbit. A little higher, just a little higher. Periapsis, maybe just a bit higher than that. Don't you know? 5 kilometers is a bit of a... I've never been sure, maybe one of you can answer this in the comments, if it's better to arrive behind the moon or ahead of the moon. Just an odd little question about this game. That'll do. Alright, and by the way, I didn't get to say this in the last episode. Thank you for all your advice and comments regarding docking. I have a few things that when I'm ready to do my next Munar mission or possibly other missions, I have a lot of really good ideas regarding how to do that much better than the last time. So this central engine is currently disabled. I'm going to burn off all of the fuel on the outer engines before we use that one. Their batteries are still at 4, and these have... I'm using larger engines just for something different on the Munar burn portion of this. I figure it'll be interesting to see if it makes that much of a difference. I think the next engine tier, one of the next engine tiers, has replacements for the smaller engines that actually have the sufficiently small alternators in them. Alright, let's bring her down. So 36-second burn. So we're going to need to give ourselves, we'll burn at T-minus 20, slightly in front of it in case something is off. But compared with our last Munar flight, this is a much lighter, smaller, and more maneuverable ship. And it has the same engine, it has more engine power, or at least as much engine power as I used to send that ship to the moon. So this should go without any really significant issue. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift off. To the moon we go again. SAS on. Looking good. Looking very good. I do have a preference for flying these ships with orbital plans. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. A little bit more. And just get to here. We're just a little short of our final target here. Just a little bit more, just a little bit more. There we are. Oh, almost perfect. There we are. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to time accelerate after I quick save. Because, you know... time warping without a quick save is just stupid. That's a great way to screw the pooch, so to speak, and miss your target. Here we come into Munar context. And our batteries, because I was a foolish person, are not charging. Alright. Yeah, we need to just tip it over. Yeah, I made it halfway there without charging the batteries, but that's okay. We can always spend a bit of time charging the batteries at the moon itself. Okay, we need to make sure we don't lose our periapsis here. Just go for a bit of a orbital balance here. Bring that periapsis down a bit more, or the apoapsis down. Periapsis out of the planet again. 51, 59, that will do. But the important thing right now is to get the batteries charging on this ship. Okay, lock it there. Come on. Just need a little bit more. We're almost at a positive net charge from this. Yeah, sun tracking is going to be a nice to have, I tell you. Alright, and 4, 3. I left off the other set of solar panels. I was just having too much trouble linking them up. Because all that really matters at the end of the day is that this thing is stable or recharging. So if this is recharging, I have 4 hours of charging time until our maneuver node. Should be plenty of time to recharge them batteries. So a quick save right there with the batteries charging quite rapidly. We have 3 hours. Oh yeah, no problem. Look at that go. 40... Yeah, the ease with which we can get full batteries on this thing is pretty awesome. We're not going to have quite full batteries. Oh, no, we're going to have full batteries before maneuver time. Okay, full batteries, 19 minutes till our orbital burn. We are probably going to run out of gas on the outer tanks before that time comes. But that's okay. Looking good, though. Looking very good. A very... Hey, there's the moon. Look at that. It's like that's where we were heading or something. 10... Yeah, 9 minutes to go. And we're going to burn with about... 5 or 6 seconds to spare. Like so. That's an interesting angle to be burning. Get the other engine into play here. It's going to take a little longer to establish our orbit, but the important thing is we're trying to bring our apoapsis down without crashing into the planet. That's the theory anyways. And we need to get down below an altitude where the imager can be used on the entire orbit, or I won't be able to get the science I want out of this. 50 tons of fuel left. I'll be able to deorbit this thing and crash it on the moon without issue. Whoops. We are losing our position here. Probably because... Well, on the bright side, we can definitely start doing the imaging. Oh, no, we're not low enough. Not low enough yet. Alright, I think we need to burn closer to our periapsis, probably. But we're in Munar orbit, we just need to refine. Actually, yeah, RCS off. Let's kill this. This maneuver isn't going to do what we need it to do. What we need to do is at the periapsis, we'll do the proper thing. We'll just burn this down a little further. That should do it. And then hopefully, come on, just rotate it around. Hopefully as soon as we get below that 60-kilometer mark, we can start our data collection process. Lock it on. There we go. Lock it on a bit more. Bring it. Oh, we're going up right now? Right, we got to go past our apoapsis first. Coolness. That's right, we're rising. Here we go. Now we're going down to our periapsis. And then what we'll do is we'll reorient the ship to optimize for solar energy collection on our passes. Okay. Let's see. Now we should be able to begin. Yes, surface imaging of the moon has begun. Let's just get this orbit cleaned up a little. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because it's, yeah, it'll just be a simple retrograde burn to drop our periapsis. I probably didn't even need to set a maneuver node for that. Yeah. In fact, that should do it just fine. All we need to do is bring that apoapsis down below 50. In fact, if we circularize this thing, I'll feel even better about it. 50. Beautiful. I love how little energy it takes to maneuver around the moon. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I don't know what exactly that one is that just came up. 4, 6, 5, 54. That'll do. Okay. Just get rid of this node. Now reorienting. Final time for solar input. How are we doing? 25% done. Oh, I wonder if that's the sun. If that is the sun location? No, that can't be the sun location. Because, well, we won't completely recharge the batteries in this process. It will certainly arrest the bleed on the batteries. Boy, wouldn't it be cool if that was the sun location on the nav ball? I have no idea if that's what the case is, if that's the case or not, but it certainly seems to be based on what I'm seeing here. If that's the case, that is really that probably is a feature of the mod I added. Adds a couple of additional markers on these on the nav ball just to make it a little easier to find certain things. And if that's the sun location, which it sure looks like that's the optimal sun location, that is pretty sweet. Okay, so we just lock it on there with the RCS or SAS. Kill the RCS off. And time accelerate until our surface imaging is complete. It certainly is pretty cool. It's definitely an exercise in energy management. Now, what I have discovered, I think part of the problem I ran into the other day with there we go. And now it should be charging. Yep. So what I had to do was hit the button Keep Data. And yeah, look at that. It's charging beautifully. Now the question is, okay, we're at 188. Now as we go around, with 188.42 when we hit the point of no return, the question is, can we go higher than that as we come back around? We stopped at 180, because the question is, can this thing recharge its batteries to full while in orbit? Yes, it can. It'll take some time, but it will charge itself to, eventually charge itself to full power, given enough time in the sun. It is generating more than it uses, and it is, yeah. So what I'm going to do, with that being said, what we need to do is start transmitting the data, and again, another 120 science. So a reliable 120 science for at least the easy to access planets, which is cool. So if I can get Minmus as well, which I think this ship It might be just a tiny bit short on fuel to make it to min-miss. I might need to boost up, amp up the top stage just a bit. Although I've got lots of fuel left in this last tank here. So, but I'm going to transmit it, and I will bring you guys back when I'm almost finished the transmission. So, see you shortly. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back. As you can see, our transmission is complete, and we have tons of battery left. In fact, more than I had anticipated. So I believe for our min-miss mission, if we pop 2 more batteries off of here, there should still be plenty left, because we have more than half left. So if we pop 2 more batteries off and are a little more careful with charging it on the flight, we should be just fine. So what we're going to do now is deorbit this thing and make a nice big splash on the moon. And since I don't want parts of this thing left, we're going to bring it down like a ton of bricks. Because I have no way of picking this thing up. And it's just going to clutter the orbit if I leave it here. In fact, kind of like the probe, the previous lander. Be kind of cool if I could actually dock with that lander. Actually, let me have a look. The probe core will be dead, of course, but... Well, yeah, but there was no fuel left. But I could... Not sure what to do with that thing. That's going to be... I might just bring a probe killer and... Okay, there we go. We are now on our way down, and what I'm going to do is let us swing down a bit more, and then I'm going to point us at the ground and turn the engines on. Let's see how hard we can bring this thing down. Okay. We are bringing her down like a ton of bricks. Because the higher we push the apoapsis, the harder on the ground the harder we'll hit the ground, because the faster we'll be going. So, excessive landing is excessive. That's all I have to say on this. Oop. No, we got to use all the fuel. Seriously. What are we doing? Using the wrong keys again. Alright, so down like a... well, a rock. Here we go. Yeah. Nice. How high is that apoapsis? I'm really curious on this now. Whoa! Oops. And we missed the best part. Sort of. We glitched the best part. Okay. Yeah, catastrophic failure. Something to do with it hitting the ground like a missile. Okay. Thank you all very much for watching. Drop a like or a subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It helps a great deal. I really appreciate everything you guys have done. Let's see how we're doing on science. 627. 360, 660, 720 is exactly one more. So another trip to min-miss will get us enough science for whatever the next science tier is. We ain't getting those anytime soon. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more brave with where I send things and people. So there's the classic mainsail. So max thrust 1500 compared with... Okay, so the max thrusts are the same. I wonder what the difference is with the mainsail. It might... Oh, it's got a gimbal. So, does this one gimbal? No, okay. So this one's got some better thrust correcting. So it'll actually help keep the thing stable, more stable. A super heavy booster. and these radial decouplers, I'd actually be able to get rid of some extra mass on some of these flights, which could make a humongous difference with how well it flies. So, but there's also jet engines, which is interesting. New heat shield. That's cool. A couple new heat shields. A new parachute. Ooh, what's this? Oh, atmospheric sampling system. I wonder if that's any good on Kerbin or not. We'll hold off on that for now. But that might be a step towards experiments on planets that actually have atmospheres. Anything else? This is all the stuff for actually that means that's stuff I need to actually build a rover, a better landing can, and some other stuff. So looking good. All right, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.